Welcome, brave souls. I am your GM in the Great Barrier, welcoming you back to another session of Star Trek Adventures Aegis. We are still in episode 7 of our second season, The Weave of Eternity. This is part 3 of that session, so for those of you that might have just clicked on this coming to it new, there are at least a couple more sessions to provide you context and a whole other campaign to look at. If you ever want to join this game live, you can join us Saturdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 6 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. The Aegis had been caught in a time loop. It had found itself constantly repeating the same day, with only the ship's security officer and first officer, Lieutenant Commander Shira, remembering this, what had happened. Well, Shira had found a way to break through the time loop, with the help of a Suliban Cabal vessel, making a pertinent course correction and setting course for the source of the disturbance. What appears to be an anomaly being used by the Tholians as a weapon that bends time itself. You followed this to a binary star system near the border of Klingon space, where you discovered from your analysis one of the binary stars has been altered. It has a protoplanetary disk that has been partially just undone or removed somehow. In its place, there is a planet that should not exist in this star system for millions of years until planets form, and even more significant, it appears to be habitable, which would take possibly on the order of billions of years. But there is also an anomaly in the system. Tholians appear to be near it, although most of their presence is focused on the other end of the binary stars, where they are about to face down an encroaching Klingon fleet. Aegis had parked itself near a moon of the habitable planet. They had discovered that the world apparently has... there's some site on that planet that is emitting energy, pulsing out every so often, and targeting the anomaly. As best you can tell, it is a tremendous source of power being contained by an energy field the Tholians are generating, and that field is getting reinforced by the planet. So if you're to do anything about this anomaly, you need to find out what's going on the planet first. An away team has been sent down to do that. It was originally going to be led by the ship's resident diplomat, and I think as Shira knows at this point, intelligence officer, Mr. Marcus Horn, but the captain is now back on her feet after being incapacitated by headache. They had seemed to get worse with every temporal loop that you had undergone. On the planet, the Aegis had managed to discover a fairly large pre-warp civilization, tens of thousands of people that appear to worship the Tholians, and in particular you have gotten to know one of these people, sort of cleric in training type person you'd gather by the name of Jot, and you've managed to convince him to get you into the settlement and to perhaps entreat with somebody who might help you gain access to the temple. As you can see, they have erected a gigantic statue. Pretty clear to everyone there is a Tholian-devised cult of sorts at work. So, you're hoping that you can do this before the Tholians notice, or anyone else, for that matter. But we will go ahead and start with our crew here on the planet's surface. You've broken from the tree line very recently. All of you have donned robes that are hooded and gloved so that none can make out your faces or, the difference in your appearance.
Scarves covering our faces as well. Mm-hmm. Stuff like that. We want to be scarves, gloves, long trousers, so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, something that comes reasonably close to matching the material, color, and sort of wear of what everyone else on this planet would have. You've come to understand, at least a little bit in the culture, you could infer that there is something about keeping oneself fully covered most of the time. The exact reasoning behind that isn't well understood, but it's very convenient for you.
I was about to say, very convenient.
Yeah, Jat, he was, but he revealed himself to you. He has resumed the full coverage that he has as well, as he leads you towards the village, you can see dozens and dozens of people ambling about the settlement, tending to their tasks. It seems to be a fairly nice day, relatively cool. I think we established it was like low to mid 60s by Fahrenheit temperature, which I think would be upper teens for Celsius. Sort of like a cool autumn day might be the way to conceptualize it. Or just a little bit of a brisk wind. It seems to be like fairly pleasant and idyllic, though. People are just tending to their work and living their lives. You see some taller figures that are moving around very small ones to and from tasks. So clearly, families and children are about. Farmers are working the fields. Different posts, you see a few people just seemingly milling about, although it is very clear that they have primitive-looking bow and arrow sets. A basic tool for the era, but still a potentially deadly weapon. It would look, I'd say, fairly normal or fairly standard, if not for the extremely detailed statue of what would appear to be a multi-legged entity, what some of you might understand could be something that, or could be a Tholian, or representation of one, which stands at considerable height in the distance. Even without that, though, there is the disturbing feature in the blue skies of the scarring that seems to be throughout the sky. For as you know, the rest of this star system still retains its status as a protoplanetary disk. A debris field that is thoroughly irradiated, and then there's still accumulating material to one day become planets. While one day this could be a safe place, this planet, even without anything else going on, is probably doomed, either by the impacts of large objects still accruing in space, or the radiation that will steadily kill off any life on this world as it enters the main disk. It's a very glum sort of thought, and one that has particularly dwelled on your science officer, Lieutenant Melnyuk.
Questions. I'm
Answers.
checking the mood and body language of the crowd around us, or the village around us. What is the attitude or disposition?
Everybody looks as though they are more or less just living their lives.
There's no concern, panic, stress.
I wouldn't say that there's that much there. You might see that those on the outer perimeter appear to be a little more guarded, based on what any of you would understand of a pre-warp civilization, or like something this primitive. You'd suspect that some people are placed out as guards either for the purpose of defense against wild animals, or the demons that may one day descend upon this world, aka Klingons, who are bearing down on the system as we speak.
But there's no amassing of troops or training the peasants or anything like that.
Nothing that you see on any scale. This is not a place that has marshaled its defenses in any considerable way.
Secondly, the spear tips and arrow tips, are they just sharpened sticks, or they have just iron on them, or another sort of metal, like alien mineral?
Impossible to tell without properly obtaining information on that one. Because I don't think anybody's at a state of readiness, and you're not particularly close.
I'm just keeping my eyes and ears open during this trek, letting everyone else do their jobs.
Juan kind of walks beside you and is like, Captain, I'm quite aware that this might stir some memories. But I'm sure that you know that we are walking into confrontation.
At some point. But right now, we should delay that as long as possible. I'd rather get close to the finish line rather than run the entire gauntlet.
Is then meeting the so-called leaders the right way to avoid confrontation?
At the very least, we can get some more information. We don't know anything outside of the rough words of a local worshiper. Not the state of things or perhaps even the mindset of this place beyond one perspective.
I suppose. How are you holding up?
She just quietly looks around, just continue to mildly scan the area. I actually kind of miss this kind of stuff. Being on the ground, breathing nice, cool air.
Sneaking around?
I mean, that just became part of the job. She says, I was a
Well,
pathfinder for the Magos, so this is just second nature to me, including being surrounded by enemies. Actually, this makes it more comfortable. She just says, like, thinking about it for a moment.
well, strange things we find comfort in.
How about you?
Well, there is like this the hint of this faraway smile when you remember something very, very long ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, this feels strangely familiar as well.
Oh?
Well, that's... Ironically, we don't have time for that story.
I think we do, she says. Seems like we still got a bit of a track.
Sure. By the way, can we tell if the structure in the distance is like alien, or if it is it like a statue built for
It's
a
all
Tholian, or
alien.
is it
It's all
is it
alien.
actually alien? No, but you know exactly what I mean when I say that.
I would.
Is it like?
I would say it looks to be stone.
So more like something built for the Tholians and not by the Tholians.
Possibly.
I mean, is it doing anything like emitting rays or
it's just
gizmos or anything?
It is completely stationary. That being said, the structure immediately above it does emit as you look in that direction, a concentrated ball of blue plasma or some sort of energy shoots out from it out towards the sky.
Yeah. And there's like, that being said, that thing gives me the creeps. Kind of nods towards that thing without like pointing or anything, not to make any too much body movement. Yeah.
She says, what? The pulsar being launched into a cataclysmic event out in the sky in which the battle of heavens and hell are being fought over? No, just normal.
I think the cataclysmic event is like right here under our feet. What could they possibly do here?
I don't know. How's everyone else feeling?
Just professional, just keeping a low profile while also observing to the best of his abilities. Just to say, do any of the villagers seem sick in any way? Does anything seem to be affecting them physically?
They're all coughing in your direction.
Ah!
I mean, you might hear the occasional sneeze in the distance, just enough to accentuate your paranoia a little bit.
Brain goes bruise.
But yes.
Oh god, my people need me. But there's no indication of like what at the moment for like what sort of age these people are in. Like I'm assuming we're thinking like Iron Age kind of era.
Yeah, I'd say like that's the most likely technology, and that's kind of the general idea of what at least Melnyuk observed.
Yeah, for now I'll just stay inconspicuous and keep to myself.
Remora,
how's Remora doing?
Remora seems to be focused and observing the local life, and he's honestly trying to see if there's anybody with his type of skin tone so he could possibly take his face wear off.
Everybody's pretty well covered up out here.
She'll notice Remora and look over to Horn and say, 1 second. and just slow down until she's beside Romora. Ensign.
Captain?
I need you to do a small favor for me.
All favors are small for you. What can I do?
Thank you. Given we're in a primitive world and we need to keep things on the down low, I don't want to make ourselves quite as known until we absolutely have to. Can you keep an eye on our dear doctor and perhaps Melnook and make sure they don't go start running off trying to heal the sick or look at something super fancy without our knowledge?
Try and keep them on a tight leash, Captain. But
In a
they
friendly
might
manner.
get away. Of
In
course.
a friendly manner, but I think you're up for the job.
He looks easy at Melnick, but worried about Xantar. I'll do my best.
At the same time, Horn is talking to Melnick, and it's just like, I know this is fascinating, but you need to be quiet. Like, this is ordinary for us, you understand?
Well, honestly, I'm a little at a loss for words right now, Mr. Horn. I'd be perfectly fine right now if we were observing a pre-warp civilization. I just, that, she says, as another burst of plasma launches toward the sky. I'm sorry, that's just throwing me through a loop here.
Oh yeah, completely. 100%. Just try to get through this.
Yeah, and then she'll like make her way a little forward towards Romanov and say, Miss Romanov, if you can do me a small favor. Just because I'm not necessarily a conversationalist.
Anything for you, Skipper.
Whenever our new friend wishes to talk a little bit, you don't mind throwing some small talk right back?
Oh, I think I can. I think I can keep him entertained for a while. Get to know a bit more about their philosophies. I'm happy to learn. I'm quite flexible on that. I'm always here to embrace.
She just interrupts and raises her hand. Great.
Yep.
Go on ahead. Just make sure that they don't ask too many questions.
Yep. At that point, Romanov is actually just going to run up to Jat, who is nearing the building very close by. Jat, where are we actually going right now? Like, you said we were going to meet somebody superior, somebody who can help us get through this situation. Can you tell me a little more about it? My tribe, we've been so cut off from things, and we lost so many records. We're very curious as to how you do things here, how all that would work. Jot.
On the way up, by the way, I'm on occasion like kneeling down to collect a few pebbles or stones or whatever I can use for emergencies later on.
Yep.
Pocket sand.
That was my thinking.
Or pocket sand, yeah.
Yep. Oh dear. Jat is beginning to exchange words with Romanov. All of you can hear. Oh yes. A superior cleric, an elder in our faith. He is very capable. My old elder Ether. He would be the person to talk to entreat and possibly gain the attention of the Bright Lords to your plight. Most likely, he could be the one to arrange that conversation. As a matter of fact, he would be here in the prayer hall. And so Jot gestures to where there are a couple of a couple of armed people, like by the fence. They appear to just be exchanging conversation. Jot says that, "Oh, good day. I am just here to meet with Elder Ether." To which they look him over and say, "Go under the eyes of Kesserini." Yes. We all move with the to carry the will of the Bright Lords, and so Jot clears the is able to pass without a problem. He turns back and says, "Would you care to wait out here while I speak with him, or I suppose these people are somewhat friendly. I suppose." Jot kind of looks a little awkward or uncomfortable with the situation.
We have traveled a very long way and wish for some shelter and place to wait in, if you don't mind us waiting inside.
The sentinel kind of looks to Jot and to you, Captain. No.
She just bows her head in deference and humility.
I suppose they're welcome to stay. They're welcome within the fence, but as they're pondering the situation, another hooded individual comes out from the building. A slightly more rotund figure beneath the cloth. Crying, "Oh, I know that rambling any distance away. Jot, my dear student, I had not expected to hear from you for another moon at least. But I am glad to hear you. Oh, and there was a great assemblage here. Yes. The figure walks out and goes, "Oh, tell me, Jot, how have you been?" "Oh, quite all right, Elder Ether. I have a matter to discuss with you. It's a little bit complex, but I have guests here that they require some rest." "Oh, well, it's a nice day. Have them sit down, enjoy the grass, take the shade if they prefer, or the light. If you've been walking for long, you may prefer the shade, but we can... I myself would prefer to enjoy the warmth of this day." Yes, yes, you heard the master. You heard Elder Ether. They can come through. You can come through. Could you just sit over here, or find a place? The Elder and I need to confer, please.
Question, GM. While they were talking, Sharp is going to quietly test the guard by sidestepping a little bit, just casually, trying to see if he is attentive enough or keeping watch of me. Just how good of a guard is he, or is he just here to look big and scary?
I'd say he's paying more attention to the conversation between Jot and Ether.
Great. I'm going to creep up close to him. Does he have any daggers or anything else on his belt? Any sidearms?
It's just the bow that he is holding and arrows in a quiver that is on his back.
Okay. Anyone else watching us?
There are two sentinels here.
Okay. Is and both of them are watching the conversation.
They seem to mostly be paying attention to that, yes.
I'm gonna take an arrow. Quietly.
Okay, this will be a daring plus security task, and it will be contested by their insight plus security.
Okay.
Since they are a pair, I'm going to have them roll together on this one. Or that'll be a 3. They will be rolling 3 dice on that. So you have to beat.
Did they change the character sheet?
I don't believe.
Because the complication. I feel like the complication just went up. It's been a while. I can't remember, because I don't recall the character sheet. All right. Yeah. I'm gonna spend a focus or use a focus on.
I mean, a point of momentum.
Yeah, a point of momentum, and I don't know why I'm so discombobulated. I'm sorry. Daring and security, he said, and
you must be
survival, close quarter combat, gambling.
This is a bit of a gamble. So early in the session.
And the captain is the greatest goblin on the crew.
Scary.
Okay. Yeah. So let's go.
Nice.
Yep.
You managed to regain the point of momentum that you had expended as you delicately slip an arrow from the quiver. Appears to be like very primitive but iron tipped.
Great. And I'm just gonna put that into my person out of sight.
Okay. I will allow you to hide that here. I'll work out, I guess, a one-off arrow type thing. We can treat this as practically a dagger type expenditure.
Yeah.
So
That's how I figured.
Yep. Though I'll probably substitute piercing for vicious. So, yeah, with that, Etha and Jot allow you passage here. The Sentinels let you through as well. There's no sort of... you are allowed onto the grounds there without any opposition, and yeah, everybody just kind of can get comfortable for a moment as the two of them converse off to the side. Whilst you gather together and try to, as you work out next moves, there's other more frantic movement happening in orbit, where we cut to the Aegis, frantically moving on running evasive maneuvers, as a Kzinti cruiser has warped in alongside and is trying to bear down, maneuver into a position to get a shot. I will ask, as we get things set up here, for, let's see. Well, first let me modify the traits here, because we have 2 that are technically in effect. The first was the running silent trait, to reflect that you guys were running under low power and in order to minimize your own sensor profile. The second trait is, we'll call it very close contact, specifically that you and the Kzinti vessel are nominally at close range, but you are within, say, like hundreds of meters of each other. Practically nothing for interstellar distances. Very nearly like mere ship lengths from each other, and that has complicated your immediate ability to target each other. That being said, we will cut to the Aegis, where I imagine at this point Shira, you have called action stations. Would that be a fair point?
Yep.
Okay, so let's get everyone... who would like to play which supporting character?
I'll grab Steward.
Okay, so Panda will grab Steward. Felix, would you like Alvarez?
I mean, I'm he and he's a me.
Yeah. This would be... let's see, I think Steward was activated last time, or last
Yes.
session. Alvarez has not yet been activated, so Felix, you can give him something appropriate here. A talent, value, or focus would apply, and just say, make a note of it if you don't have an immediate idea. But yes, does anybody want to play Chief Justice? Or do you want to leave them to me for the time being?
Cheesy.
I do love playing Chief Justice. He's my favorite.
The Chief is yours. Let me make sure that I didn't... Yep, he is under supporting characters, under the con role. Willie D. Justice. So,
What's the D stand for?
it's a mystery.
Danger.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Listen, it's not like the 24th century. One Piece is almost going to end. So,
GM, I do have one question that's not on the bridge.
Yes.
Can Davachi, as soon as the alert goes off, start vigorously cleaning the medbay?
Oh, I'm sure he's already at it. It may be
Okay.
about the only way between that and making sure Herodolin is distributed that he has to pass the time. But yes,
So how rough was like the
Xantar
ripple?
is so proud.
How rough was the ripple from near point blank, point blank translocation right on top of us?
It was not good. Like there was a definite shaking of the ship and pretty much immediate sounding of the alarms as the ship now goes to action stations. The lights are low, partly from the mood lighting, but also to reflect that because you're running silent, you are only under auxiliary power. I'm going to start by noting first, Chief Justice does also get an activation as well. I think that he still has room for another talent, value, or focus. But I am also going to need to immediately ask for a roll from Justice here, Cheesy.
What would be the role?
Well, as we had left off last time, the commander had asked for asked you to take evasive action. So the flight controller must move swiftly and unpredictably, attempting to foil enemy targeting. This is a daring plus con task with a difficulty of 1, assisted by the ship's structures and con. If you succeed, you will increase the difficulty on their task by 1. This does, however, also take away a point of power from the ship. So,
Fair enough. Hold on to your britches.
Feel free to spend a momentum if you want.
well,
Yeah,
there's
we're doing good on that.
1 success, and anybody care to get the ship?
I can grab the ship.
All right.
What's the ship rolling?
Structure plus con.
Engines. Structure plus con.
Yeah. I will double check myself on that just to be
There we go.
absolutely certain. But yes, that is structure plus con. So, Chief, the ship weaves to and fro. You're doing your best basically to stay within the immediately to port or along axes that are practically alongside the ship. The Khazinti are trying to get into a position because they have warped in so close that they cannot bring their weapons to bear on you. neither their forward or aft mounted ionic cannons, nor the missile pods that contain a vast array of nuclear ordnance. By moving about this way, you keep them basically in a blind spot, but while their next attack will be more difficult, it's clear that without you cannot escape at without warp drive in this situation, or auxiliary power isn't going to cut it for very long. So but yes, you have momentarily eluded them at the very least. All right. So let's see. I'm going to. Yes, very quickly, the Khazinti will have an opportunity to try and make some sort of roll. I think that they'll try to get you at like an oblique angle with their energy weapons. So let's see. With the scene trait that has them in extremely close, that will add to their difficulty. The evasive maneuvers will also add. So they are going for an attack with their ionic cannons with a difficulty of 4. So let's see how they do. Oof. 2 successes, but a complication. And weapons plus security. Well, let me double check that there. No, that's actually a 14. Yeah, that was just a 14. I need to play with this sheet a little bit.
Still, it was a difficulty 4 roll, wasn't it?
Yep, so they do not quite succeed, but to be clear, they did not actually score any complications on the board. You just see streaks of energy pulsing from their forward and aft cannons as they try to hit you, but Justice is keeping the vessel just in their dead zones to where you manage to avoid it. But Shira, you... Yeah, go ahead.
Good maneuvering, Chief.
Thank you. Getting there slowly but surely. But we're going to need a little bit more power if we're going to keep away from these guys.
Agreed. Bridge to engineering.
Engineering, Fernier, here, Commander.
We need to go to full power.
Oh.
How long's that going to take?
Let's see. Doing it by the book, couple hours. I'm presuming, though, based on how the ship's bucking about, that we don't have that kind of time.
Let's assume we don't need the book. How quick?
Oh. I guess there's a... Captain wouldn't like this, you might not like it. There's a possibility that we could execute a cold reset of our engines. It'd be dangerous, but it would give us a chance to actually bring we could probably bring it back online in, I don't know, if not like, probably do it in the next 10 minutes or so, if you can give me that.
I'll see what I can do.
Engineering out, just before you hear it, it's like, Bernhard, get out of those plasma conduits, they're about to get hot.
Well, very well, sir.
Yep. Since you guys are presently in a combat situation, the turn order does go back to you here. Everybody does have an opportunity to act if you so wish, which does mean that we could get on that engineering task. Let me just pull up my notes here on the options. In the meantime, Shira, is there anything you would want to try?
Well, let's see if we can stall them a bit. Let's hail them.
I'll open the channel, sir.
whole readings put it at 30% within radiation tolerance, and that's just a few hundred kilometers, a few 100,000 kilometers. That's insane, Steward.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they like things a bit toasty there.
Channel open, sir.
This is the ship SS Aegis to unidentified Kazinti vessel. We demand to know why you've opened fire on us, and why you're risking attracting the attention of the Folians.
There is a momentary pause before the before some beeping occurs at Crichton's console. Channel line opening, sir. The Kazinti vessel is actually hailing.
On screen.
As you stare forward on the screen, Crichton says this, and I had to do it to you again, Craig. It's an audio-only channel, sir.
Ah, good. Then put them through on the speakers.
This is Jeth Raider. I am here.
God damn it.
I am here for the Grand Huntress.
The Grand Huntress.
Yes, the Grand Huntress of this space. She commands the Aegis. Where is she?
Crichton
That
looks.
be the one would you know her by the name of Sharp?
Yes, that sounds right. She proclaimed herself the Grand Huntress, and she has our attention, that of Pride Stucker.
Bring it, kitten.
What the fuck? Jeff Vader? Does he run the Death Star?
I just hung up on the thing that in the last campaign the crew was the problem. This campaign, the captain is the problem.
Yeah.
To be absolutely clear, the proper name is Jeth Raider, but I deliberately went with something that could be. I went with something that could be easily misheard.
Fair.
I mean, we would never infringe on any copyrights.
No, of course not.
You hear that, Disney? We are not infringing. Please don't sue all of us.
There's a mouth-shaped Death Star coming towards us.
Now, Paramount and CBS, on the other hand, oh boy, the
Yeah.
infringements all over the place.
Well,
But
let's
not Disney.
Oh boy. Be careful with my intellectual property. Oh
dear.
I'm gonna stop now.
Don't like how accurate that sounds.
Let's see. I figured out the problem there, Pete. That was supporting characters, engineering, and for some reason I apparently forgot to make him accessible to you. So let's fix
cool.
that.
I only ask because he does have a focus in Starship power systems, which I feel could be very instrumental here.
Yep. All right. Yeah. So over the audio line, you get the Kazinti continues.
I have already made my name, but I shall earn my true status as hero today by bringing the body of the Grand Huntress before Baron Stucker himself, and together we shall devour the Huntress and gain her strength. Your hunting grounds will be open to all.
Well, I'm afraid the Grand Huntress isn't on board this ship. You're
Oops,
speaking
sorry.
to Commander Eulashira.
These are either lies or you just stole, or you are telling the truth. And you must tell me
Is it-
where the Grand Duchess is.
The Grand Huntress. Well, she was transferred off this vessel some time ago, I believe, to one of the newer vessels in the fleet. Was it the Columbia? Might have been the Columbia.
Stewards give me a look of like, don't throw the petters on somebody else.
So Captain Hernandez can deal with this shit.
Sir, I haven't muted the line, sir.
Well,
character.
whatever ship whatever ship they are on, we shall just have to take it from your memory banks. I'll find a Grand Huntress and I will I will atomize this ship. If I don't have the Huntress, I will have her old vessel.
If you continue fighting, you're going to be bringing all those Folines you've tried so desperately to avoid.
Not to mention, if you try to blow us up, you don't have the memory banks to find the Huntress.
And disable you quickly, we shall.
Oh, there'll be no quick disabling here.
Oh god, now he's turning into Yoda.
I have my finger on the delete button. I will delete the memory banks if you continue to shoot us. So don't, please.
Delete. Whoever is found to delete the information will be the first we feast upon.
And then there's another tone. Sir, they closed the comm line.
Well, that stalled them for a few minutes at least. Hopefully in that time, engineering will have had at least one chance to roll a thing on their extended task.
In an abuse of
Hopefully.
the talking is a free action setup, we're going to go down to the engine room. I'm going to make sure that I did not make sure that the characters that aren't supposed to be there, which is just Romanov.
Don't look, don't look.
Yeah.
I told you to hide the clones.
I'm sorry, sir. I've been trying to herd them, but they've been a bit difficult of late.
Administered amnestic.
Fernier is frantically looking over the engine controls and says, "Okay, we're gonna have to toss out quite a bit of procedure here. Bernhard, remind me, how fluent are you with the EPS grid?"
Oh, quite fluent, sir. It was my specialty back on Earth, sir.
All right. Now, not gonna.
I used to work on the old prototype ships, sir.
Okay, all right. We can get this going in a. If we do this right, we can have it going in a minute or two. But we're gonna have to route what little power we have in order to try to get the vessels under a cold start.
If I
No.
may, sir, I have a few other tricks up my sleeve which may speed up the process, but a few safety regulations may get thrown out the airlock if I do say so, sir.
I am not activating a latent, but I'm just going to voice him. He says, I'm already yanking and replacing.
Very good.
Bernhard,
Oh no, don't yank that one.
get to work on this. I'm just gonna say, I understand that the scuttlebutt is Enterprise managed this in less than 2 minutes. If we can do that, if we can do it in 3, and we don't blow up, I'll take that as a victory. So, don't push it too hard.
Oh, no problem, sir.
All right.
Bernard just like cracks his knuckles. He
Who's
pulls
gonna
out
tell-
a random flask and like takes a sip,
Who's
and then
gonna
the
tell
flask just
captain?
somehow disappears.
Who's going to tell the captain? Not it.
Ah, damn it. Yeah. Fernier being the last one possible.
Yeah, I imagine the entire engine crew's like, not it.
Not it.
Okay. So because you are going the shorter but more dangerous route, here's what I'm going to do, Pete. Bernhard may attempt a daring plus engineering roll. The difficulty on this task is going to be 4. And I am going to spend... let's see. That will be... I'm going to spend 3 points of threat to increase your complication range to 3. The ship... I think after going back and forth, I think it is technically able to assist with engines and con, but it is also working off that same difficulty there. Or the same increase in complication range, as would anyone else that assists you, which could either be Leighton or Chief Fernier could help you instead.
Okay. Who's got a better daring and engineering?
Let's see.
Let me look at Leighton. I don't know.
Also, as this acts as an activation for Bernard, can I give him a value?
You may.
Leighton does not have a good daring. He has 8.
Oh, well, Fernier has 7, so that's...
Oh, okay. Well, then I guess Leighton is going. All right, let's go.
And remember, you've got 5 momentum, so you can spend 1 for an extra dice.
Let's throw an advantage in here, to make it easier for us. Peter, how about do you think we should get an advantage here? Since you're the one leading us, I don't want to replace you in leading the scene.
The question is, what sort of advantage would you be looking to buy here? So, I mean, if you're just spending momentum to buy a D20, that makes sense. But the creating an advantage or a beneficial scene trait just needs a little articulation.
I have an idea, but it is up to you, Peter, what you have ideas-wise. You take the lead on this.
Well, I've just taken... Well, first, just to say, I've taken the value of... the value is what's a manual. And I think that's appropriate for this situation. I was going to spend my determination to get an auto-crit. But if we can try and lower the complication range in some way, that would be helpful. So if you had something along those lines or something else, I'm willing to listen.
Perhaps that this pile of lovely ship that has worked for a very long time, is still is so old that it pretty much is the equivalent of the ship equivalent of a sewing machine with a chassis, and that
sounds right.
If we strip it down enough, it's do a hard reset. It's not that big of a deal technically, compared to the Annex 01, which is the state of the art Warp 5 engine and all that jazz.
Yeah.
On the other hand, you're trying to jumpstart a very early matter-antimatter reaction.
Yeah.
Shh! God damn it! I'm trying to get an advantage here. But yeah, it's a much more rudimentary.
This is what happens when you try and do this sort of thing with a German in the room. It's like, God damn it, Felix.
Yes, please observe the engineering principles. No, what would also work from where the advantage would come from is Romanov is heavily looking into how to improve the warp drive, and I'm sure she has some ideas or modifications floating around to just make the whole system run smoother.
I've also had a request for someone to come in the scene as well, which GC, did you want to actually play them as well, or did you just want me to bring them in to possibly?
That is up to you. You play him very well.
I'll take that endorsement and say that coming busting through the door to raucous applause.
Oh yeah.
Hey, we having fun with anything explosive? Because I think somebody outside the ship is.
We're just trying to restart an engine in 3 minutes, or 2 minutes and 30.
Oh, neat. Can I get in on this?
Oh, sure. Come on in.
Yeah. You know, we
Now,
go ahead.
how comfortable are you with EPS conduits?
He says, stroking his chin, to which like his forearm has a number of plasma burns, or like scarring from plasma burns. I've been around the block once or twice.
Like Bernard gives a sniff, yep, smells like you know what you're doing.
215.
Right, you get over there. Fuller, you stand here, and when I say, pull this one, not that one, pull this one.
If we pull both, I think we could get a nice pyrotechnic display out of the injectors.
Oh, don't worry, there'll be plenty of that.
205.
Right, here we go. All right. So, oh, by the way, Panda, what advantage were you looking for? Oh no, you've already said. Never. All right.
Yeah, I was just trying to see if we can get like a little complication because of how rudimentary the damn ship is.
Yeah.
Okay,
I am gonna spend a momentum for an extra die.
So
I'll take that.
Determination for the auto crit, a momentum to buy an extra die, and then did you want to
Spend 2.
Spend 2 to create
Spend
the advantage to say
for the
like
advantage.
The ship's rugged, rudimentary design would be more friendly for the jury. The jury rigging that you have in mind.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
It is so rudimentary. We do the proverbial, if not probably literal, kick to it and be like, "Damn it, restart."
Yeah.
Okay.
Hitting it with a hammer.
This will be a shorter extended task. This will just be this will be a magnitude. Well, technically, it's a magnitude 2 task. But I'll tell you what, because I've already established difficulty, I'm going to the difficulty was higher. I will expend just a couple more points of threat to reflect that the difficulty is increased there. Make sure the counters are up to date here.
Mm-hmm.
So we're at a difficulty 4 task, though the magnitude is 2. The work track is only 8 points. So you could conceivably get this done in one fell swoop.
All right. Complication range is still at 3.
I think that with the advantage that you purchased, it can go down to 2.
Cool.
Like that's the point of that. This is still just a more difficult task here.
All right, fantastic.
And because Racco is in the scene, if you don't object, Leighton, he can take your place. His daring and engineering might be a
Go for it.
better.
Yeah.
And he's got the EPS focus.
I didn't want to activate
even better.
it anyway, so.
Excellent. All right. Everybody ready?
Racco's. Yep.
Oh!
Yes. Yes. Oh.
So that is.
So that's
5 successes from
5,
Bernhardt.
6, 7.
Plus
Yeah.
2 more from the auto crit, and then 2 from Racco. So that would be 9 successes on the board.
So
that-
so Bernard gets everyone in position, waits for the opportune moment, and just all right, everybody ready? 3, 2, now!
Yep. With a surge of power from the ship's battery and the auxiliary power generators, the fusion reactors supplying auxiliary power, you try to jumpstart the matter-antimatter reaction and surge warp plasma through the injectors so that the nacelles will kick back online. Let's do that. Let's see. That would be ordinarily. I would say that is 4. Well, let's see. Yeah, that would be 4. 2. 2 challenge dice plus your discipline in this case. So for that would be. Oh geez, I'm sorry. Here, I'm having just an issue.
Plus my engineering discipline.
So you'd be rolling 6 challenge dice total.
Fantastic. All right.
That being said, you have 5 points of momentum coming in. Give me another roll there, because
Yeah.
if you
I
don't
forget
push
to press
enter first, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
there we go.
3 points of, or no, 4 points of work. You have 5 points of momentum that are still incoming, so you can expend that to either re-roll or add additional work to that. I will say there is only one resistance on this, actually, so that should be... that roll gives you 3 points of work. Just
Out of how much?
8.
8.
Just re-roll.
So yeah, I'll spend a momentum to re-roll those zeros.
Okay.
There. Ooh. Much
That
better.
is another 4 points on top of that, so that brings you up to 7.
You could probably spend a momentum to remove the resistance.
Either that or just do
So we
the
got-
extra point of work.
Oh yeah, that'll do. Yeah.
Yeah, might as well do that. Yeah. So that was one momentum for the re-roll out of the 5 floating out there.
Yes. So a second
Can-
point of
And
momentum would
then-
do the additional work.
Can we
so
have
then
it
going
given
back to 3.
given how we just barely managed the work thing? Can it be like 10 seconds beyond the time, and like it's still off, and then Leighton just goes in with a wrench, goes tap, like smacks it hard.
Yep. So expending 1 more point of momentum to do the extra work.
Yep.
All right. So that'll leave you with 3 more incoming points. Yep. We get to 3 minutes 10 seconds as the Aegis is waiting for power to come online. This is about when the conversation is ending on the bridge. And with a quick smack with your wrench, the bit of percussive maintenance, the engine kicks online. The lights almost get too bright for a moment before power resumes, and obligatory flames shoot out from the plasma injectors as power surges back online. You've managed to do so without causing any breaches to your engines, and you regain, I will rule, a base 3 points of power to reflect that main power is coming back online.
Sweet.
You may spend an additional point of momentum to regain the full power, because it's basically a 1-to-1 sort of situation, and your maximum.
Yeah,
resistance.
we might as well spend another momentum and get full power in. So
All
Yeah.
right. So that'll be 4 points of momentum in total.
There we go.
Yep, you'll be. So the Aegis is now fully powered, and the ship's power has pretty much been restored. On the bridge, Shira, you notice this pretty much right away, as you are trying to dodge as the Kzinti are trying to move into position. As a matter of fact, power starts coming back to your main systems while they attempt an attack pattern roll. So let's give them, that'd be weapons and comm assisting them here. First they...
that was in that engineering roll. There was a 2, a 1, and a 3 rolled with the support, and a 9. That was brilliant.
That was awesome.
Yeah. Whoops. That didn't select something. That would have been weapons and con. That's a 6 there. That should be enough for them to do it because their weapons would be 8. I can re-roll that though if you guys want, just to make it seem.
It would have been a.
It would have been hit.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So let's see. Shira, as reports start coming from, Creighton starts reporting, sir, main power back is coming back online.
They're firing.
Well, I didn't think so yet. I'm trying to give me a moment here. Wags his
Shut up and let
spectacles
me
up.
talk, man.
Yes, Main power is returning, sir. We all departments report that power is being routed to defensive systems as required. We should also have warp drive here in a few more minutes.
Good work engineering.
They're still firing.
Yeah. In that moment, they stop firing, and the vessel takes a sudden hard turn as they maneuver in such a way that that Chief Justice has just a little bit of difficulty keeping up as they zip forward and then tumble end over end until they are generally aimed in your direction. They have rolled a successful attack pattern roll, which would be a difficulty of 2. They scored 3 successes, 2 from the crew and then 1 from the ship, which means I will take a point of threat as well. And their next attack, for their next attack, they can reduce the difficulty on that. They actually, because they have the attack pattern is, well, I'll say that they're still in a little bit close to where, or well, no, I think that actually with that type of maneuver, the attack pattern also kind of undermines the other scene trait. So I think that we're back to a level playing field on that end. They have it to where they are no longer like in too close for an attack, but they also they are evening out basically what evasive maneuvers would do. So
I have a firing solution, Captain.
Hold for 1 second. Okay.
Fires after a second.
Let's employ another advantage, shall we?
Okay.
So let's spend a couple momentum.
What do you have in mind here? What is Shira thinking as she stares down this Kzinti vessel?
I am thinking that our science division has been continuing to study the data we got from that Cosmozoa.
No.
And its effects on targeting sensors, so that
I wasn't
maybe we
even
can
in
employ.
that scene.
So that maybe we can employ that against our friendly pirate kittens over there.
I wasn't even in that shuttle. This is dejectedly.
That's why I said the science division has been continuing to study the data.
I have to go through the notes.
See, there you go.
We're pulling miracles. Look.
So essentially doing a bit of electronic warfare to make their targeting more difficult.
I guess Stewart's in panic mode, trying to pull miracles out of her butt again.
Yep. Okay, Stewart.
If the engineering department can do it.
Shut up. Okay. No longer Leighton. Go away, Leighton. Stewart.
This is
going to spend her value of suck up and do your job.
All right.
Or okay, stop yelling at me. Whatever, which one.
Yeah. Well, allow me to clarify something here real quick. Shira, you said you wanted to create an advantage here. Would you be having Steward roll to create the advantage, or did you want to expend the momentum for this? Because this might make more sense as a task here. Or unless you just want to say that.
Hey, if we're comfortable having the roll, that's fine with me. That way we preserve the momentum.
Yeah, up to you guys. Or you could just say that.
Let's roll. Let's roll. I don't mind rolling for this.
Yeah, make sure you spend a point of momentum for an extra dice. Though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, most certainly.
And it's going to be the science team's roll. Come on, science team, you can do this.
All right.
Science.
So, Steward, this will be control plus. Actually, I think this will be a daring in science roll here.
No.
Yeah, you are on the fly
Do it.
going through the notes here and trying to
She really needs to
generate
improve her daring then. Good God. People keep asking her miracles. All right.
generating basically looking for a way to generate a radioactive emission that would a radiogenic emission that would create the necessary interference.
Focus stellar atmospheric science.
I'd let that apply.
I use the value of okay, stop yelling at me.
Yep.
I'm gonna spend momentum for an extra die. Damn it, this is discipline and not attributes. Damn it. Would not apply here. Okay. I just bought that too. Alright. Okie dokie. By the way, the determination was for the critical success.
Okay.
And
So-
here we go.
All right, that should just give that to you with one
Nope,
success.
I have cautious science.
Ah, yes. So you can re-roll a d20.
Oh, is it just one? It doesn't matter. Both of them are failures.
Yep.
Oh.
Well, the ship can also assist you here. I think this would be science for the department, and then I think because you're trying to go for some sort of a mission, this would be a power issue, so the engines would come into play.
All right, I got it.
The contemplation was
engine-
one, right?
Yes.
Engine science.
Okay.
That's a no.
Looks like we got three.
Yep.
Got 3 successes.
Yeah.
So you
Something.
So, Steward, going through notes that you have on hand and recalling that, yeah, you weren't in that scene, you didn't do much there, but it has been one of the few things that you've had an opportunity to, or one of the new phenomena you've had a chance to study in greater depth. You are kind of throwing things at the wall a little bit, metaphorically, to create the best sort of approximation of the false sensor emissions, but you are pretty sure now that you have something that would buy you at least another turn worth of difficulty. I do think that the pushing out all this energy probably creates some general interference and pretty easily detectable sensors, so this is it obscures you a bit and will make an attack more difficult, but it's a general sort of flare as you're sort of flooding out this radiogenic emission.
She is reading while typing.
Good
Is
work,
it something
Stuart.
we want to do here?
Yes.
Like flaring close to the Tholians?
Look, with that, they're going to use nuclear bombs in a second, so yeah.
Let's see.
Let's worry about one problem. Let's worry about the immediate problem, and then the problems that come from solving this problem we'll have to solve later.
The Molotov cocktail logic. Anytime
I'm
you
not
have
sure
a
that's in
problem,
the manual.
anytime you have a problem, throw a Molotov cocktail.
It
You have
isn't.
another problem.
It is not in the manual. I have checked multiple times. This is Stuart.
Could have asked.
Not
me
yet.
Yep.
The Molotov cocktail that says, "To whom it may concern."
Yep. Let's see. Just because I think that Kazinti are a bit scream and leap, I'm going to have them go for one more attack here. Add an go ahead.
I don't know if it works in space combat. Can we use a momentum to keep the initiative?
Yes, you can.
Yep.
Can I do that?
You guys could keep the initiative. The question would be who wants to do what. I believe that, they're not... Justice has acted once already. He could act again at increased difficulty. Alternatively, Alvarez has not acted, so he could still do something there.
I do have a targeting solution.
The captain can also direct us and make us do something too.
So, yeah, that'd be 2 points of momentum either way.
What do we want to do, guys?
We already have the cloud up, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
basically.
Okay. And that gives them a difficulty to hit us?
It does increase their difficulty to hit, yes.
If you guys would be cool with it, I could try doing an evasive action to make it even harder for them to hit us.
Oh, you're technically already using the evasive action right now. Justice has...
Oh, it lasts that long? That's awesome.
It lasts through
Yeah.
the full turn.
Yeah.
Or the round, basically.
Yep.
So
You
we
can
can
say
fire
you're doing
back.
extra evasive maneuvers.
The question is the question is basically yeah, well, I
What do you want to do,
suppose-
Craig? Craig.
I'm happy to keep the momentum and let them shoot.
Okay.
I'm not sure if happy is the good word
Well,
here.
yes. But don't worry, the next action will be us returning fire anyway, so...
Yep.
But sir, I have a targeting solution.
I want to fire now.
So I'll just have the Kazinti attempt another attack. They will buy an extra D20 with a point of threat. So they are making an attack with their... They're making an attack with their ionic cannons.
See, you made him buy threat.
Well, so they are... Let's see. I think that it would have been a base difficulty of 2 plus 1 from the... one from the cloud you guys are generating. That's enough to succeed on its own, however.
Well,
let's see
also
how the
one evasive maneuvers too.
Well, they nullified that with a
Oh, okay.
with the
Also,
attack
that's natural
pattern.
20 right there. Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, that's technically a second roll because I had rolled a 5 and then the natural 20
Damn it.
came out. I'll tell you what, though, because I realize that they are attempting a second attack, so technically it is a difficulty 4 shot they are making. They do succeed, but I do not get back any threat. So, the Kazinti just throw out a pulsing wave of attacks. I am going to expend an extra point of power to buy additional challenge dice for this, so the damage on... ignore that one. That's not
No,
even
you
right.
don't have to ignore it. In fact, I'll accept that. I'll accept that. That's fine with me.
That is entirely too little damage anyway.
I
Because
No, I'm
think
fine
it's-
with
I
that.
think it's
We're fine with that.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
I don't know why the sheet is malfunctioning. Let me reselect.
No, it's working
energy
fine.
here.
Sir, the character sheet is malfunctioning. Taken damage to their dice rolling mechanism.
Oh no, the ship is pretty much disabled at that point, if they can't do that. Let's see. So... Sorry, the things are just a little wonky here, and I'm just making sure that I have this right here, so... Yeah, just playing around a little bit with this. I think that I have that...
You know, it's already been a year and a half, and I already have the infamy of Kirk. It's so great.
What did you
What do you-
do?
What do you mean we?
Okay, so to be clear, I think I've got it fixed now to where
Does
it
that make
should.
Marcus Spock?
Logical.
So
Yeah,
that is
1, 2.
scale
Pretty
plus
charming.
security plus 3. One
Oh,
came from an
God.
extra point of power that they expended. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
9.
6, 7. Yep, 9 points. Aegis should resist at least 3 points of that damage by its scale. However, that I think still leaves 6 points, which will hit your hull plating, and that should be enough for a breach. So anybody with the
Correct.
ship.
I'm happy for them to take the shot. Zach destroys the Aegis.
All right. Let's see. That's. Well, the
Oh,
roll
come on, I
table
was
just
using those.
This is just Craig trying to get out of being captain again.
Sorry, the roll table wasn't working properly. Okay, so they. I got that properly worked up here. That should be okay. All right.
System breach engines.
Yep.
Just
The engines.
take their power down
Just
again.
repaired those.
So, hits go to they let out just a spray of pulses from their ionic weaponry, which I apparently need to adjust this as well because it seems to have ignored the weapons oh dear. So guys, I got bad news. The effects
Lay it
that
on
were
us.
not listed there because it's ionic weaponry, that is dampening and piercing 1. They had 4 effects, so that is actually 9 points of stress to the hull plating.
Doesn't that's another breach.
No, you have 10 points in your hull plating altogether.
Oh, lovely.
But yes,
Oh dear.
let's see. Now I've got to go and double check because the
So for my next character, I would really like to try.
I was wondering if I could play like a Gazinti.
I guess, well, I don't think we're quite to the All Kazinti campaign just yet, eating the entrails of fallen enemies. But no.
Fair enough.
So let's see. With dampening, that is the attack removes 1 point of power for each power rolled, piercing 1 that obviously ignores X points for each effect rolled of resistance, that is. So the blasting, the ionic pulses from their forward cannons fire out and catch the Aegis firmly on its bow. Each pulse being just barely shrugged off. However, some of the blast had managed to pass the main saucer, or not the saucer, the main sphere, and collide directly with the nacelle caps, which begin to flit very slightly. Lighting around the ship also begins to flicker as EPS conduits start exploding, or there are pulses of explosions from overloads as power compensation units begin to fail due to the power dampening. It is kind of a worst of both worlds situation. Crichton reports, "Sir, direct hit to the port nacelle. Main power is dropped down considerably. Hull plating is down to 10%.
Just down in engineering, just Bernard. Here, stop blowing
Return
holes in my
fire.
ship.
I believe that was a return fire, Craig.
Yep.
All right. So with the Aegis's last point of power, Alvarez, you are given the chance to take a shot. You are rolling a control plus security task with a.
That's our last point of power. So what happen? Hold on. If we drop to 0 power, what happens?
I believe that at 0 power, tasks... Well, first off, it prevents you from using any task that consumes power, so that would be weapons, engine, or like use of energy weapons, warp or impulse drives will not answer. Any other task that says it requires a point of power cannot be performed. Restoration of power becomes slightly more difficult.
Maybe order your engineering
Yeah.
crew to fix the goddamn ship.
Yeah.
I will give you
First
another
power
option
and then
here.
firing.
I will give you guys one more option here. In
Surrender?
place of expending your point of main power, we have decided to embrace a rule from the 2nd edition of Star Trek Adventures. They've changed the power management there in a way that, where they largely ignore most of it, or like they have they've basically given ships a single point of emergency power that can be used specifically to basically save the. It can basically be used as a point of determination for the ship, in lieu of, since they don't have determination, or rather, they don't have values and whatnot to expend. So what you guys could do is you could declare you are using emergency power, diverting that to the weapons, and I would not only allow that to function as an auto crit from the ship, but it could also substitute in for the point of main power that you have. Is that fair?
I think that sounds fair.
Yeah.
All right. Alvarez, this is a control and security task that you are taking. This would be a difficulty 3 roll when you do it. It's increased because of the you guys are evading, and that does make it more difficult for you to hit things as well as for them to hit you.
What are we firing? Does it make a difference?
Phase
Probably
cannons.
phase
Phase
cannons.
cannons are base difficulty 2. They're currently at an optimal range right now. You could fire torpedoes instead. That would be base difficulty of 3, but you're closer than you should be to fire torpedoes. So it would suffer an increased difficulty from that on top of the evasives.
Okay. So, I mean, how stupid can we get? Can we double auto crit this? If I spend my value, would it also count as an auto crit?
Yeah.
I mean, let's fuck shit up, right? Everyone?
Yeah,
Why not?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Okay.
Else,
And yeah, go ahead.
spend a point of momentum for an extra dice
Yeah,
as well.
absolutely. Spending a momentum for a 3rd die. I'm spending the best value ever. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Which might come too sooner than anticipated if this goes
I
on.
hate that value.
It's the best. It applies so much. Guys, ship or tactical systems should apply, I hope.
Yes.
I don't think I can pull anything else out of the hat.
That is 3
Nice.
successes plus your automatic critical success from the determination there. So that is 5 successes. That would be enough to hit.
Plus the automatic successes from the ship, which is 7 successes.
Yep. So you may roll damage on the phase cannons, or just to be clear, were you going for phase cannons or were you hitting with?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think without explicit orders, I don't think I would touch the torpedoes. Face cannons, they're face cannons.
Don't forget, with the extra momentum, we can penetrate and do a number of other crazy shit.
Yep.
So do I just use the face cannons from the ship sheet?
Yes. All right.
Ooh.
2, 4,
Ooh.
6, 8,
Who do we appreciate?
Yeah, it's so that is 8
11.
points of stress. Well, that with the versatile one effect, which means that you also have 3 points of momentum incoming
Yes.
just from that roll.
Okay,
At
so
8
how much
po-
floating momentum do we have?
Let's
What
see.
was the difficulty to hit? Was it
The difficulty
4?
was 3.
3?
Yeah, so right now you
got
guys have you have 4 from the task, you have 3 from the phase cannons. That's all incoming. I will say, with your initial hit there, that is enough to cause a breach because they can only ignore 3 points of stress to their shields. The remainder, well, it's not enough to take their shields down completely. However.
So we got 4 momentum from the roll and another 3 from the phase cannons.
Yeah, so we have 7 floating momentum, theoretically.
Put
So
that into the
we should do
Produce resistance.
Or reduce the resistance way down.
yeah, if we do 1 for penetration to ignore resistance, 2 resistance, and then we do another 1 for bonus damage, and then we spend 2 for devastating attack, so we get another
Bless you.
another system gets damaged.
Yeah.
So 1, 3, 4. That's 4 out of 7, and then we get 3 back.
I think that sounds very
Can
tasty.
we buy power back? I don't think so, right?
No, but we can take power loss for 1. It starts at 1.
We can what?
We can make him lose power. It starts at 1. So,
Yeah.
But we can't stop us from losing power with these rolls, right? Just a thought.
Yeah, you can
No.
you can only regenerate
Okay,
power like on your turn with the ninja
Yeah,
engineer.
yeah, figured.
Yeah.
Figured.
So that being said, let's see. That's so. Am I hearing a point to ignore some of the or 2 of the resistance, so that you do 7 points of damage instead of the 5 you were going to do?
and roll an extra challenge die.
Oh,
Roll on what?
Roll an extra challenge die, extracting more damage. 1 more damage.
well, I think the extra, yeah, you can go ahead and do that. Roll just 1 extra.
Well, sorry, is it just +1 damage? Okay, yeah.
Okay, well, there you go. An extra momentum. Cool.
Yep. So that would take you guys up to 8 points of damage. Their shields, I will say, would still be up.
Boom.
But with we have penetration of 2, right? Ignore 2 resistance.
Yep.
So
So they're, yeah, that's what I was saying. You were doing 5 points of damage to them out of the 8, well, now 9 that you have rolled. They could basically they could ignore 3 of those. So
okay, let's just add. Let's spend that 2 we just got to just add a further penetration. It's an additional 2.
Yeah.
okay. So I think I see where it is. We have 2 points to ignore all their resistance, a point to buy the extra die, or really that could be just a reroll of the existing one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's 3 points of momentum that were spent. And then, did you guys want to do anything with the? I think you.
So we're still we're trying to pierce through the shield. So it's
Yeah. I think
8.
one more point would basically take down their.
Yeah.
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 I
So
think
we're
that's a good
doing +1 bonus damage, 2 penetration, and devastating attack.
Okay. Gotcha. +1 for the re-roll there. So we'll see. Let's see. As their shields collapse, you manage to inflict 2 breaches with the devastating attack. Their engines immediately. So basically, you start firing a massive burst of phase cannons cutting along the core of the ship. with with the emergency power routed through them, the phase cannons sustain a blast that slices along their central hull and causes explosions, decompression, and finally catches along the nacelles to their aft. So it just thoroughly dices up part of it. I'd say it even blows the cap off the dorsal warp nacelle. So they have actually effectively lost their power at this point. And their shields have also collapsed. So I think that's enough to effectively disable the ship for the time being.
There's a moment of silence after the first explosion settled, and you hear just quietly from Alvarez's station, I think I'm getting a hang of this.
Good shooting, Alvarez. I suppose we're still in turn order?
Technically, but they're not really going to be able to do anything for the time being. They are...
Okay, I will, because I still haven't had to...
race to repair. Yeah. Let's go.
I'm gonna do a direct task, and I think I have to ask for more power from engineering. Restore power, isn't it?
Yep. I'll allow this to actually happen off the main order here as Creighton sends signals down. And I think the last thing we'll touch on here as you do this is, Steward, you see signs that there are sensor indications on the from the Tholians deeper in the system.
Oh, lovely.
She looks over at her thing and kind of smacks it a few times, trying to get through the radiation, because goddamn Kazinti. And then says, Captain.
What is it?
It stirred the nest.
Well, this is going to get more fun, isn't it?
And so it becomes a race, Shira, as the sensors show that roughly 3 vessels have broken off from the anomaly and are coming in at impulse. This gives you time, but not much. While all this is going on, as the exchange of fire has rattled both ships quite a bit, circumstances on the ground have been relatively calm, belying the situation up in orbit. You guys have had a bit of time to relax, though Jat and Ethal stand at some slight distance from you guys. I think that at this point they would come back around and says,
Jat has told me something of your arrival. Apparently you come from a distant village. Have you...
Yes, indeed.
Yes. Well, I am very surprised to know that others would be about. Tell me, what bright lord bore the name before of your what was the name of your bright lord, your protector, before they had been lost?
Good. Yes, the great arm.
Marcus glances at the group, and then it's like this uncomfortable shuffle that he does in the ropes and everything. It's like we can't remember, to our great shame.
It has been a generation or two since the diaspora of our village, and much that our elders had taught us for generations has been lost. We have tried our best to keep the words of the Bright Lord to us, but every generation it dims. She looks sullen. Or tries to look sullen.
Activate sullen mode.
Yeah, pretty much.
This is the sound of a very grave and unspeakable tragedy. Casrini may yet be able to provide you some salvation. I may yet be able to provide you some assistance. If we make an appeal to the Lord. As a clothed elder, I am permitted to approach them, and I can entreat on your behalf. So I will make a journey to Casrini and to make a humble request. Oh, one more thing. It may help them to understand it with a bit more, knowing a bit more of you. And Jot, what were you saying?
Ah, yes. The one of them bears a glowing talisman, an artifact of some sort. It may be of some assistance.
This is in reference to the scanner that he saw Xantar carrying.
Yeah, I figured.
I have some understanding of these.
For the camera, the arrowhead kind of peeks out just a little bit underneath the sleeve of Sharp's cloak. But yeah, continue.
Would whomever among you bears the talisman produce it so that I might give it study?
It is.
Xantar will give a sidelong glance to Captain Sharp.
It is. I do not wish to offend, Great One, Holy One, but it is the last vestiges of our home. I rather only present it to the Bright One if need be, but it is something that my brother here should not have revealed at all, for that matter, amongst outsiders, she says, and gives like a directed point, both in fakery but also like
Motherfucker.
actual look.
And yes, you see, it is tradition in our village, and it's like Marcus tries to hit this sing song of like passed down speech. You know, you repeat something for the umpteenth time.
Awesome. Thank you
and
for falling through this.
yeah, and it's like it is tradition for each of our younglings to receive such a token once they reach adulthood, and they carry it with them for their entire lives, so that the token may witness their life instead of the Bright Lord we no longer carry with us.
I understand the difficulty of the request that I make to you. But you must understand, I am bringing you into a sacred space of our own. And we, with the end times upon us, it is necessary that I exercise great care as an elder. But perhaps a compromise may be in order. I presume that part of this situation with the token, it is a matter of privacy, is it not?
It is.
And protection.
Of
There
course.
are unfortunate disbelievers and heretics upon the Great Wild.
The prayer hall is empty. Please, if you would care to join me, and you as well, Jot, then we can enter the chamber and do so in some privacy.
To communicate with the Bright Lord?
Oh no, we would still have to go at some distance, but it would be more a place where we might further discuss, and with your permission and with the privacy away from prying eyes, gesturing to the sentinels and the general villagers surrounding the area. This would be a place that we could observe the tablet,
the talisman.
If you can assure us such, then surely, I suppose that it would be a acceptable compromise.
There's a pronounced nod from the clothed figure as Etha gestures towards the door of the meeting hall.
If you do not mind, Holy One, I wish to speak to my younger here, to assure him.
Yeah. Do what you need to. But you may, when you are ready, you may come inside.
Thank you. She
What's
will.
that, Captain? Kill everyone?
I mean, she might. She just approaches the doctor, pats him on the shoulder, runs a hand around his bicep, and kind of then pulls him in close into a hug. And when they're actually holding, she holds on tight. She whispers, "How sure are you could knock these people out with medication?"
Fairly sure, Captain. I have enough tranquilizer to knock out a wildebeest.
I will take care of our original guide. You take care of the elder. Make sure that they are unconscious and not dead.
Of course.
Have him approach you or approach him with the device, and then you can take that moment.
Understood.
She lets go, pats you on the shoulder again, pats you against the cloaked cheek, and then makes her way over to Horn. Talk with somebody else. Talk with Mjolnir or yourself. Assist Xantar in showing the elder. She says, with like showing and the emphasis of the word of "we're not showing."
Yeah. I'll go with the young one as a keeper of rituals.
Yeah, and I approach Remora and say, "Help me be beside our good new friend, Remora."
I'm so sorry. I was talking with my grandmother. Please say that again.
We're about to knock out two people indiscreetly. She is basically quietly, discreetly telling you, "Hey, help me with this guy when it comes time."
Remora tosses the rock up and down.
Not kill them. This is
non-lethal.
yeah, not yet, at the very least.
Just cheat. Just Remora. It's just what's that? Voices in my head. I should end more.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, we just go in.
So as Xantar reckons with the voice of Mr. Flibble,
We can't possibly do that. Who'd clear up the mess?
Yep. Anyway, you enter the hall. It's pretty it's relatively sparse or Spartan. An interior of wood and thatch. There appear to be some signs of like tapestries or that are woven to depict various scenes from the faith. Definitely to like an initial, like a very cursory glance would tell you that the Tholians are depicted here alongside the children of Kesserini. At the far end of the hall, Jat and Itha are situated, arms wide and set to receive you as you walk in.
I'm with Xander, by the way, if that didn't come through.
Before heading in, I would have liked to discreetly sort of prepare a hypo spray with a decent sized tranquilizer to knock them out for a few hours.
Okay. If you would like, we can make that a prepare action proper, where you can basically roll now to determine how you're. Well, no, it'd be you get to you can declare that you are readying the action for when the circumstance hits. So basically, when you're close enough to one of them.
Yes, I'd like to do that.
All right. So you stand at the top.
I am walking behind Jot, specifically. Very close, very behind.
Jot actually followed Itha inside. So
yeah,
you'd have to
well, it's all discreet. We're all going in. So
yeah, certainly.
So Sharp is trying to come around. Romanov and Romanov is in the rear with Melnyuk. Remora, I guess we could say that he's coming around as well for a flanking sort of position.
Yep.
While we kind of all settle in, I engage Ether in a question that give me a second. And the intention behind that is I kind of talk with him while walk and just make him focused on me so that Xanta can just get him from behind.
Yep. I looked at Xantar and then looked toward the door and make sure that the door is closed, or the whatever portal is not open with cloth or whatever.
Me.
And only once it is closed or obscured do I just nod and just try to time it with Xantar, and I'm going to try to grab Jot by the throat and just put him into a chokehold. Quick sleeper.
Master Ether, as the conversation has come up before, and it's actually information I'm interested in, this thing that I'm asking is Jad also mentioned the end times, and there's like I shoot like deliberate nervous glances to everyone else in my group, and as you can imagine, this is quite concerning news. What do you mean?
I can happily explain it to you, to bear the word of the Bright Lords. But first, let there be understanding and truth between us,
he says. And Itha will lift his hood, Jot doing so simultaneously, to reveal he too is one of the Kesserine Or. He's a tad more fuller featured from the look of him. Let me show this here. A bit older, a bit more wizened. His hair tied in a knot behind him, seemingly only growing out the back in just a very bright, like white, firmly, like the hairs are completely absent any sign of pigmentation. It's, something consistent with what you would conceptualize as an elder.
we reveal ourselves as servants of the Bright Lords, as children of Kesserini, and we invite you here to do the same.
You have still about half the distance to cover, Xantar, as he and Jat have set this, or have made this play here.
Yes, of course, Master Ita. It has been a long time. Give me a moment to prepare. It's like there's desperation creeping in his voice because of Xanta. Come on.
Yeah, she'll just say,
Keep going.
Kind of
quietly, she'll just say, loud enough to carry into the room. She says, "You must understand that we are very malshapen due to the diaspora and what has been done to us. It is not comfortable for us. So if you can give us one moment to bear through it.
Prepare yourselves as you need, but understand, you are in a place with friends. You will not be left behind. Nor will any of us. For as the scar in the sky has opened, Etha gestures to one of the murals depicting like black and orange in a scene of otherwise blue. As the scars in the sky opens, and the demons approach our land, they will descend from the skies, and they will bring green fire and cruel blades, and they will try to destroy all that is here, to slaughter the children of Kisrini and Kisrini itself. But they will hold.
Tantar is still going up.
They will take they will bring the by way of their faith, they will allow us to they will take our faith and they will send it to the heavens. They will weave the souls of those lost into the weave of eternity. And in the time when our faith has resolved it, and when the weave is secured and remains in a stable place, then the weave shall pull the heavens in such a way as to save the children of Kisrini. It will guarantee our path to a new land, which Kisrini and all the bright lords in the skies above shall take us from this place. And by their will, we shall live in a new land of salvation, where we may know peace and life without harm.
Then, as the Bright Lords have protected us, let my brother show you his own secrets and what has been gifted to us, and we may show our true forms, she says.
Etha, with very warm eyes, Xantar extends his hands out.
Please, young one, let me see this talisman. Let me know of you. Whatever your appearance may be, you are welcome here. Let there be truth.
Zeta doesn't knock him out soon, I'll choke him out.
Fucking hell. So Xantar will go up and start reaching up to his hood.
Yeah.
And starts to like, is this okay? This is good? Okay.
Just do what you need to. You just gotta get point blank and inoculate him somehow.
Gets as close as he can to him, and then lowers the hood to reveal his features.
Lorn, you are certainly not one of the Kisrini Ord.
And then as soon as he looks shocked, just
yeah, and I go in for a chokehold on whatever his name is.
Jat.
Okay,
Jat.
so
Yeah.
Xantar, this will be a daring plus medicine roll as you close the distance and try to jab him with your hypo spray. Captain, you are going to be rolling a contested daring plus security. Not that Jat is particularly good at any of that, but more he's going to flail.
I'm covering his mouth. I'm choking him and covering his mouth.
Okay. So you need to beat a difficulty of 1, Captain. Xantar, your task is not contested. You only have to overcome your conscience.
Yeah, I know. This is so mean.
What conscience?
Oh.
Yep. So in quick succession, Xantar, you jab him with the hypo spray as it stabs. He looks like slightly taken aback, and there is a look of deep hurt on the Elder's face.
I am so sorry.
As he,
He does Xanta will hold him to bring him down gently.
Yep, he seems to clutch in the one hand tries to reach up to about his neck area or near the base of his hood, but doesn't quite get up to there as he starts falling, slowly falling with your assistance gently to the ground. Sharp, you have to beat 1 on the daring plus security roll.
I'm going to. Right, she's not as badass as freaking old Sharp was.
Also,
right.
you do, Xantar, you do earn them back a point of momentum. I hope you feel good about yourself.
Oof.
Cool.
I feel terrible, and I'm not even on this away mission.
Oh,
I
feel very
know!
terrible.
I feel like we could have talked this out.
You're gonna roll there, Captain?
Okay. No, I'm thinking here for a moment.
What do you mean you're thinking? I've already
no.
the main guy.
Give me a second. So,
well, what mechanical thing are you pondering?
before the immediate person happens, before this, before as the words were being said, could I make a quick? Can I spend a momentum or something to basically make a quick, a insight into? Would he listen?
Xantar
is he kind of insightful?
Acted, so
yeah. Well, okay. Can I? I'll make a roll really quick of the security and whatnot. Let's go. Let's do this.
I was gonna say okay, you match, but you have initiative, so
yeah.
So
I knock him out. But can I make an insight over reflecting of the attitude so far? Would the guy actually listen if we talk to him?
Well, let's
a little more difficult now.
Roll damage on Jot first, as he tries to flail and as you said you were going to basically choke him.
Yeah, I'll just try and knock him out.
Okay. As you try to hold just long enough to where he will lose consciousness, the words struggle out of his...
how do I roll? Where's the freaking unarmed strike? There we go.
Should be at the bottom left.
Why is it 1?
Because
should not be more.
No, it's 1 plus your security, and the sheet already automatically accounts for that. So that is 6 successes plus the knockdown effect. So you definitely get him to the ground, and you are choking him as trying to get him into a state where he will be unconscious. That is enough to inflict an injury. So Jot will struggle, and he is clearly not trained in any sort of combat, so it's just wild flailing of hands trying to get into your face or knock at your arms. He calls out, "He fell! Oh, Elder, no! Hell demons!" And eventually it's just the pure look of terror as you stand over him completely hooded and grasp at his throat. Eventually you feel Jot slip to an unconscious state. You let go before you think it will compromise him too badly.
Yeah. Can I insight, reflecting on it? Look, security-wise, we had no idea how he was going to react, and it's already, the job's already done with that. But can I insight of like how much he'd be willing to listen, or is this guy just really super drinking the Kool-Aid and there's like, does he have that eye of like a absolute fanatic will not be shaken, or is he like a wizened theologian?
I mean, I guess insight plus command, difficulty 2 now since you're a little ways after the after the fact.
Yeah, no, fair. I'm going to spend I'm going to spend a momentum here. Sorry. Diplomacy, gambling, linguistics.
I don't really think a focus would apply here.
Okay.
Okay.
And I get to reroll that one because of cautious.
Yep.
There you go.
All right. You earn back the momentum you spent, so the counts don't really change. Near as you can tell, Sharp, this rather wizened figure has gone to great lengths to make you feel welcome here. It is possible there was some sign of distrust that they demanded that you reveal yourselves. Although based on some of the murals here, it seems like they would expect if anyone was going to come to this place, they would be screaming and unclothed, or well, at least uncovered Klingons. That is, making themselves known in the way Klingons do. Warriors, at any rate.
Right.
So it's possible that that he might have listened, but he is very deep in this tradition, and who knows what the Tholians have told them of any outsiders beyond the planet. Though as far as you know, they wouldn't have had any outsiders even beyond this realm, and Jat himself seemed a little suspicious at times of your story, and it's possible that they knew some of that as well. In any case, it's immaterial. They are both knocked out, and the away team is in the meeting room with two unconscious Kesrani Or.
Yep. She'll just look over quietly. She'll just roll Jot off her and then get up, look around. Romanov, keep an eye on the door. Make sure it'll warn us if there's anybody passing through. If they do, all of us will just claim that there was an epiphany and we'll work from there. She shakes her head like, fuck if I know. She looks over to Mielnik, looks around. Horn, Mielnik, work on the local tapestry here or any other data you can as we try to figure out where to go from here. If we can go from here.
If seems like a pretty big issue, Captain, Mielnik says, and she'll rein herself in a little bit, just volume-wise. If I understand our mission right, we just knocked out the one person who apparently could gain access to the super secret temple of the Tholians.
I'm working on that, but but we could have easily just been compromised. And certainly, while they might not understand what a human scanner is, I'm pretty sure that the Tholians who were messing with the entire timeline in general and the multiverse or whatever will most certainly know what a Starfleet scanner looks like or what humans look like.
Melnik is just gonna shake her head and set to work on the pull out her old scanner and start investigating the murals, muttering.
Xantar, figure out what you can about their physiology and be ready to wake up the Elder.
Understood, Captain.
Remora, Horn, anything? Well, really, this applies to everybody else here.
Yeah.
Are the player characters? What are you guys? Are any of you guys doing or investigating anything in particular right now?
Moving the bodies to a more hiding place.
Horn, now that we have more privacy, how familiar are you with religious
I'll be right back.
indoctrination? Sorry.
With what?
How familiar are you with religious indoctrination?
Seen my fair share of it.
With some honesty and a little bit of an apology, do you think we can? You think that the elder would probably listen if we gave him a bit of the truth?
What kind of impression? It's so difficult to decide because this is not just a cult that sprang from somewhere. This is a culture that the Tholians have like so thoroughly
Have nurtured,
influenced
and
that
nurtured
it's
and influenced
almost
to
the same as a cult.
Yeah.
But the question is, how much of their free thinking have they influenced? Well, since I think that the gods in the outer sky are rather benevolent usually, he might be. Ithal might be approachable with a hearty apology, and we certainly have not made a positive first impression.
But understandable one, given the situation.
Potentially.
You're a lot more empathetic than I am. I certainly can talk a little bit, but I could use the empathetic backup or corrections.
Well, I can certainly try.
It's a big ask, I know. It's like a small, restrained smile. All right, let's give a bit of an olive branch. Doctor, can you cure some minor ailments off of Ethal before we wake him up?
While you're doing this, actually, Xantar, Remora, both of you are near enough the two children of Castrini. If either one of you would like to give me an insight check of sorts, this can either be, well, you can run a medicine check, Xantar, if you like. Remora, you can also make a check either for... well, I think science would be the most applicable thing here.
I can sure try.
All right, Remora, if you, or rather Xantar, if you you're doing, if you are checking over them yourself,
I'm back.
Oh, good. Yeah, Pete. I think that since the idea was to look over the bodies, I'd say that there's an insight check involved. You can alternatively make a scan with reason plus medicine.
I would prefer reason if that's all right.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and make a quick scan of the individual.
Cool. That's a 2.
Okay, you start scanning for their biology, and like particularly since as you were doing so, the captain actually put in a request to look for any ailments that you could cure. So you're looking for any sort of foreign compounds. Good.
I would actually suggest holding off on that one because we don't know yet how they react to outsiders. Like really outsiders.
Well, I will say that you, Xantar, your scan actually does pick up a trace of foreign biological material. In particular, something that had like former some sort of material not in any way native to the planet or to the or like anything that would be like possible for the Kiss-3D to produce. As a matter of fact, there appears to be the reading of something below the cloak line around the neck of Ethal that appears to have traces of Tholian, or like not that there's a genetic material per se, but something that more closely resembles some sort of residual material that is much more alien and is very likely Tholian.
I will examine it more closely.
Yeah. With your gloved hand reaching around, you tug and you find something almost, even with the cloth or even with the glove that you have on, something just feels like incredibly delicate or soft. And as you pull through, out from the neckline, coming untied as you pull at it, a silken sheen of cloth from around Ethal's neck.
Captain?
Yes.
This appears to have been wrapped around Ethal's neck. It's Tholian.
What purpose does it serve?
I'm not sure.
Probably a marker or a leash.
Remora, give me one more insight check, this one being an insight plus command roll.
Did I fail my first one?
You did.
Can I use my backup plan so we can have a momentum?
Ah, good. Well, you can...
Also, we also get since I'm also present, we get another momentum as well, because I have backup.
Yeah.
Yep. Well then, yeah, that'll be 2 points of momentum, I guess. Oh boy, that's a talent that's ripe for abuse. So, Remora, this insight check, command or science for the discipline, but still insight. And this is just difficulty 1, because I'm sure that you would be the one person around here to have heard of this.
Yeah, there we go.
Nice.
Yeah, Remora, you see this incredibly rare object being pulled out by Xantar here.
Whoa, 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 whoa. That's Tholian silk.
Okay. Is it
That's
significant?
Sort of. It's expensive. Like when you're a pirate and you raid just a small chest of that, that's a payday.
What does it mean to the Tholians?
I roughly heard of it.
I don't know how they got that, but I could only assume that is either an ancient thing. I don't know how they got that. That is heavy Tholian. Like they wouldn't just give that up.
Not unless it served a purpose.
Or unless they've interacted with the Tholians already.
I mean, we assume they have. That's they're bright speakers. I assume.
Perhaps this
She
is how they
considers.
identify.
She considers coolly and then looks over. Xantar, how quickly can you run a genetic screen very quickly? Just as primitive as possible.
I can do that, Captain.
Can you run it on these individuals?
Absolutely. I'll run a genetic scan on the individuals.
Okay, I guess another reason and medicine scan. I'll set this to difficulty 2 just because it's a little more... well, you're looking at something a little more intensive, shall we say.
Okay,
If any of you want...
see if I...
if any of you want further
Could I-
information as pertained to the silks, then there is momentum to obtain information. But
I'll burn momentum. I was a pirate. Like, what do I know?
Would I be able to apply quick study to it, which could decrease the difficulty or ignore the difficulty?
I'd give you that. We'll set it to where it's just a single or a difficulty of 1.
Cool.
But yes, while we
Two successes.
While we resolve that, and Xantar takes another point of momentum. I'll say that since there wasn't a question paired with the scan in mind, I'll just say that there's like a couple of free questions that you can get out of Xantar's roll here in a moment. But while you guys are waiting for Xantar to finish his scans, any questions you'd want to ask as pertains to the silk?
What rumors have you heard about Tholian silk and the Tholian culture itself? Like, what do they like? Surely we pirates have snagged it, or traders have wanted it, but have you heard any rumors of what why Tholians would give it away, or perhaps trade it amongst themselves outside of just clothing? Is there any cultural reference to it?
So, for 1 point of momentum, I can tell you that there is a pretty minuscule amount of information available on that.
Of course.
That being said, let's see. First, just a note to the stream. I have amended the momentum count once to reflect that momentum was gained, and then back down to 3 to reflect that this was spent to obtain information. So, Tholian silk is exceptionally rare because it is generally not given beyond Tholian, so there's no information on their culture. There are some older legends because the Orions have been starfarers longer than just about anybody that is broadly known in these parts. Rumors that the oldest Orion emperors or empresses had at one time earned tribute or had done some great deed for the Tholians, and that there were, as some sign of understanding, a Tholian had gifted a Tholian silk scarf to the Orion in question. But never again has there been any sort of story of the sort. The silks are exceptionally rare, most of these being acquired through ill-gotten means, as Remora alluded to, though some of it is probably smuggling, others taking it from people that smuggle it.
Okay. All right.
So, very strange to see it on a primitive being here, definitely.
But it would make sense he's a priest.
A clothed elder, if you will.
Yeah.
While that sits, Xantar, you've conducted the genetic scan here. Is there anything that you guys want to ask about the children of Kestrini? Open to the group.
My immediate thought is just seeing if they have some genetic similarities to the Tholians, or if the
Yeah,
Tholians are,
that's what I was thinking about. Like, what we roughly know of Tholians and the wreckages or anything else that we have of Tholian stuff, like, does it match in any sort of degree?
Yeah. From what little you
also,
understand,
is the Elf and Jart, are they the same genetically speaking, or like same species?
Yeah,
similar.
So, answering both of those questions, first, the children of Kestrini, they are their own species. These are an indigenous life that would exist on this planet. The culture has obviously been altered by encountering the Tholians, and as near as you can tell, from what little information you have about the Tholians, the conjectural, like, extreme temperatures and whatnot that they would have to live in, or there's not much known about the exact nature of the Tholians. But you don't believe that these would be related in any way to the Tholians. If some of the theories are right, then the Tholians are just a radically different type of life form that don't share a genetic code in the same way that... or there isn't a genetic code so much to them as there is something else just utterly alien.
No extreme ancestor that this is.
These people didn't evolve from crystals, no.
Yeah. All right.
Jane.
Put it back, Doctor. Right where you left it.
Understood, Captain.
Yeah. Melnick, for her part, will say, well, I would have liked different circumstances to study them, but it seems that what Etha's been saying mostly seems to track. It looks as though these Tholians have been here for some time, and that they have influenced the culture from very early days. She points to a monument or a mural dealing with the temple-like structure. It looks as though they worked to help mine this mountain here and build the structure that we saw. That must be somehow... I guess they must be concealing whatever they're using to relay the energy, or whatever reactor they've constructed, or power source they're harnessing. They must have used that to gain... They must be using it to help power that shield and contain whatever's out there. The anomaly, that is.
Build or unearth?
If you're trying to tell me that the time travel somehow created something that they could use, I haven't a clue. No chance in hell I can figure it out from this.
Fair enough.
Suffice to say, if anyone knows, quote unquote, or like she does the air quotes thing, if anyone knows what's going on, then it's probably that guy we just tranquilized. Otherwise, the only thing we're going to know is inside that, in the mountain itself, and I don't see how we're getting there at this point, Captain, unless you have a brilliant plan that manages to choke, I don't know, several hundred or maybe thousands of people.
Just gives Melnick a long stare, side-eyed stare.
Which she can only partially see over the hood, and Melnick at this point tosses her own hood aside. It's like, God damn it, this is sweltering.
Right. Okay. Romanov, stick to the door. Remora, if you can gently prop up the elder. I was gonna get this over with. Xantar.
Aye, Captain.
Xantar.
I already have it prepared, Captain. On your word.
I would suggest maybe when we wake him up, we keep the crowd to a minimum. Should I talk to him alone for a moment?
I'll join you on that, but we can't really leave this room, so let's just give space where we can.
Let's go to one side of the room or something.
Should we gag him just in case he doesn't shout?
No.
Immediately wakes up. Help! Help!
Yeah. She'll just think about it and then nod. And then look to Xantar and give a small nod.
Xantar administers the agent to awaken the elder.
Etha slowly opens his eyes. After a few moments, they flitter and comes back to
I
focus.
Apologize, Elder, for the rough housing.
Where is Jot? Judge,
He's safe. Safe, Elder Ether, please. This is... As our companion said, we are extremely sorry. We are in a very difficult situation.
Much like your people, our people is in danger.
And, well, I think there is something we need to show you first. Look at the captain.
We need to talk to you. She nods.
you come here under false pretenses.
It's
be
Master Ether,
fair-
please. The situation is more complicated than that. And it's like Marcus just takes off the hood.
Yeah, so the captain as well. To be honest, our first encounter with your people has been quite the religious fanatic, which gave a poor first introduction. We weren't sure of how willing you'd be to listen to us, and especially with the oddities that we have, that it would be, well, we were concerned you would immediately raise an alarm.
Yes. You have shown us nothing but kindness, and we have repaid you poorly. For that, we apologize.
You've shown yourself to be the more devious than even the demons we were told that would be here.
We are not demons. We are not demons, Elder.
Not those demons.
We are simply just people who are desperate to preserve our own home. Much like you.
Ether pauses a moment and tries to get a little more comfortable. His hand reflexively going for his neck in a panicked moment as he feels around his collar.
It's safe.
Yeah.
We are not thieves. We do not wish to take from you. Simply for you to listen and hopefully understand and consider. That is what years and experience brings, is it not?
He eyes you both suspiciously. If you guys are going to try and make a pitch to him, then now is the time to do it.
Yeah.
Short meta question, like, what do we even want to tell him?
The truth. To some degree.
How much? The truth is a lot.
All right.
He can't handle the truth.
Let me give you a workshop and we can work around it. All right. I want to explain that there while this great event will save his people, it is dooming countless other worlds, countless other villages. That isn't just the demons, but just people who are just trying to live. And we are here in the hopes of understanding what is happening and trying to find a solution that could save everyone. Hopefully. That's the truth. I don't want to damn this world. Like, nobody wants to damn this world.
From a certain point of view.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we can work with that somehow.
Yeah.
At least to start with. Elder Ithal, the truth. Where to start? The great catastrophe that you see in the sky doesn't only threaten your people. It threatens many people. People who live far away, further than you could possibly imagine. And we are some of these people. And we came here to understand and to save our own people as much as everyone else if possible, if we can somehow prevent this catastrophe. And as you can imagine, this whole situation has put us a bit on edge ourselves.
I personally have lost family from this, she says, and kind of just mildly grits her teeth and curls her fist. So I apologize for the initial heavy-handedness, but I am sure you can understand the hardship one gets from losing those closest to you. And I wish for that not to happen to anyone else. We're here. We're here to simply prevent whatever catastrophe is happening and hopefully come out of it with everyone intact.
Ethar props himself as best he can. And
Xanathar is trying to assist him.
he'll kind of, he'll very begrudgingly accept that aid, but he will say,
I will explain this to you then, as I have two children here. You seek to prevent the end times for this land. You can no more stop that than you can stop the sun from setting every day, the wind from blowing. You can no more stop that than you can the march of time and age. These end times are upon us, and the only way to survive is to place our faith with the Bright Lords. You may not be the same demons that I encounter, that we have been told of, and you may not be demons at all. Your story may have some truth. But the only salvation, the only way that we of this land leave this place, and perhaps the people in your faraway lands, is to allow our faith to be woven into the Bright Lord's grandest design, the weave of eternity. Only then, when it is completed, will salvation be available for all. I have seen many strange things in my time, but I need not for my faith. I know this to be the truth, and that if you simply allow them to work, then perhaps they will extend salvation to yours as well.
In his eyes, is it like, do I see like actual fanatical fervor in a way, like this deepest core belief? Or is this just, this is how it's always been, this is how it's always been told, so this is the truth? Kind of, you know what I mean?
do you want to try and insight him, or just expend?
Yeah.
Is he determined? Is this a fact? Like, is this like a? Yeah. This is my question as well. Is it like a predetermination, or is it like it's just part?
I'm inside. I would insight.
Yeah, insight plus command checks here. I'll give momentum to the highest thing. It will be difficulty 1. He's making no attempt to hide this.
I'm spending a momentum.
Okay, so
inside command. You said.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll take it down to 2 points of momentum.
I'll also spend a momentum here.
That'll take us down to 1. Okay, 1 success from Horn.
Someone had to roll better than that.
4 successes from Sharp, which means that you will get 3 points of momentum back, so that takes it back up to 4. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and give you guys... This man is telling you what he earnestly believes and understands. There's certainly fervor and belief behind what he says. But, like, this could very easily be, like, this man doesn't have the context to understand what else is going on. His entire world was the land between these mountains, watched over by the Tholians, whom he knows as like religious figures, and who, if he is to be believed, have treated his people well and are offering them a path to salvation. He watches light go up into the sky, which, as the murals bear out, and as he said in his speech, is like literally signs of their faith shooting up into the sky. He has a visual representation of what is going on. So, like, this, to call this a cult situation is, it's more the Arthur C. Clarke situation of, he sees wonders every day. He sees science that he has no basis of understanding for. The scientific method is not understood here yet, period. So he, at least not by the children of Kesrini. So, like, he doesn't even understand the true concept of other planets in all likelihood. He thinks that if you are telling the truth, either you are telling the truth and that you are just from another land somewhere over the valleys, or that you are demons from the sky.
I don't really know how to go from here, because I feel like there's nothing we can do with the limited time and tools available to actually break his faith, kind of. To get behind the whole thing, and I don't know how to work with that.
She, with the question already, GM, how empathetic is he toward our situation?
He seemed pretty empathetic at first, I think, but he's distrust is off.
He's falling because he's feeling doubt. He's falling on his religious belief. Yeah.
No,
okay.
He's not doubting his faith at this point. He's more doubting his own judgment to have let you get this far in all likelihood. Your strange people that have betrayed him, that might be like the mischievous or evil agents as far as his folklore is concerned. So
she looks at him and Elder, do you have children? Or grandchildren, I suppose, now.
I have taken more to, with the life I lead, I treat many of the village's children as if they were my own.
You wish to treat them in a path that they can feel, that they can sleep with. Yes?
I wish for them to be able to go to sleep at night and wake up to a better world. One where they will have peace and harmony.
If that meant sacrificing another village's children, as I said before, I have lost, even from the acts that happened already. But I am coming to you because I know there is warmth for community and family. And I know even with the Bright Lord and the guidance that they provide, that you do not wish for suffering to be the cost of your own personal betterment. Is that not true?
As I know it, the Bright Lords do not bring suffering.
I'm not asking about that.
If your people suffer from the are to suffer from the cataclysm as mine would, if not for the Bright Lords, for the salvation you seek.
I am not asking about that currently. I asked you a simple question.
Of
If
course
it came
I
at the cost of other children, would you?
I would not seek to do harm to others, nor would the Bright Lords themselves. Nor is there.
And if you saw the suffering of other, and you knew that someone else's act would bring the suffering of other children, would you just ignore it?
Certainly, I would help. I would help others as I could. But and if it is safety of those people that you seek, it could still be provided to you. In spite of what you have done, it is not too late. He says, starting to gesture himself up. I do not know whether there is truth to what you say, but if you truly come here seeking to save others from the cataclysm, if you seek salvation from the with the weave of eternity, if you do not
it
have...
is what my sorry, Zach. It is what my friend would have wanted. My friend always looked for a brighter future, one of community, understanding, friendship. And I, as a warrior, have difficulty understanding that. But because I have difficulty understanding doesn't mean that I cannot try to honor that wish.
Well, for your fallen friend, and in spite of what you have done, I could allow you to... I could help you entreat with the Bright Lords. I could bring their case before you, and they could judge you and deem whether you are worthy of salvation. But if you are to come with me, you will do so openly amongst yourselves. You will do so with truth and openness.
Of course.
These hoods you wear, you've emulated our practice as best you can, but from your whatever land you come from.
We did not know what we're coming into, and we simply wish to not offend anybody with our alien presence, foreign presence.
And understand this. If it is my help you seek, I will get you to the temple, but you will do so under the watch of the temple guard. You will do so with them ensuring that you are unarmed, with all knowing whom you are. No totems or talismans that could cause further mischief. No hidden tools that you could use to harm one. You will come before them in this way, and if you do so, I promise you I will do all that I can to appeal your case. I am a clothed elder of the children of Kisrini, and I could introduce them, and I could plead mercy for you, for your people. That is the only way, and I cannot promise that the Bright Lords will be so forgiving. That is the only offer I have for you. If there is any truth to your tale, if there is only the desire for salvation, then I will implore you to pick that. So tell me, what will you decide?
And I think that's where we're going to leave off the session.
Nice.
Yep. So, guys, Good work, everybody. And for those in the archive, thank you for joining us. If you ever want to catch these games live, that is something we run 4 p.m. Eastern Standard, 1 p.m. rather Eastern Standard Time. That's 6 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time every Saturday. This is where we will leave off for now. So you folks have a good rest of your day.